who just wasn't bringing it together in winter. I'm curious myself as we go to pick Ben.
With Jace and Jax taken away, KOI targeting Carlsen towards the top side of the map. Gwen also going to be removed. Wow, okay, so a lot of focus being put on to one of the, I would say, standout individuals on the side of Heretics. He's had strong performances. He's had some mixed performances for sure, but definitely a lot of eyes on this young player, as right now his pool is very much being targeted with Maokai quick to join the roster.
I feel like he's got a lot more though, so as we see those top lane bands with Ivan paired up, all right, Betty, you know KOI's going to pick a Skarner on one here, right? Ivan always the option
thinking about it. The Skarner, I do wonder where Zyra is going to fall on the priority list, but you imagine that Skarner's going to be the lock-in. Ignore the Zeri hover. It is likely not going to be the priority.
If you Zeri on B1 in a game 1 of a best-of-3 Fearless, something's wrong.
Varus makes a lot more sense.
That is a lot more logical.
But they have left open the Skarner for Sheo to grab for himself. Skarner is the most played jungler for both Sheo and Elyoya so far this spring. You talked about wanting to see the Corki.
This is a dog.
Remember, though, that you need the specific Corki skin that you're looking for, which we can't guarantee just yet. Is Zyra actually locked in now? Does Elyoya just slam the Mundo?
Yeah, does he play Mundo? Are there other options into Zyra as well? I know there definitely feels like there are. Or do you just say, hey, never mind, we'll go for the Skarner anyway?
But just do that. Personally, I'm a big fan of the Mundo answer into the Zyra. Of course, they could look to lock in something else here if they wanted to. Maybe grab something like the Rumble. And right now, they are hurrying it, locking in immediately. And there is JoJo's Yone, a big comfort pick for him. Definitely, in my opinion, one of his weaker champions in winter. I wasn't impressed with the performances that he had on the champ, but he stuck with it. I do think that he's shown some lane improvements so far in spring, even if the stats don't necessarily portray it. And so far, KOI locking in power laners. Yone, Rumble, and Varus. I mean, Rumble and Varus just fantastic at gaining prio in their respective lanes. Rumble can struggle depending on the matchup. But the question is, where is this Corki going? Is this a mid Corki or is this a bot lane Corki? And that can very much determine a lot.
Well, with the Ambessa locked in, at the very least, you know, that Rumble point is still relevant. I feel like there's very few lanes that Rumble hates at the moment, even still with that Q Flame Spitter nerf that came in many patches ago. As Ambessa gets locked, now the only question is setup, right? On the other side, KOI without a jungler. I feel like when you lock in Yone, you usually want one of the trees, or you want something like the Skarner that can help facilitate. What are they going to get away with as the Skarner is that first ban in the second phase?
KOI, I mean, they could consider AP junglers, something like the Lilia, can match in terms of clear speed against the Zyra, and the high mobility against her single route can be quite effective. Alternatively, they could think it's something like a Jarvan. Very easy engage tool, still available. I think the Viban makes a lot of sense from Heretics. A lot of the traditional junglers have been taken away from the pool. Pantheon is an alternative.
Yeah.
I don't love Pantheon plus Yone as a combo, but it is an option as a possibility.
Xin Zhao also there if we have an AP top, but again, there's going to be 3 AD sources on the field. Another thing that LPL's really playing is a lot of these skirmish-heavy junglers at the moment as well. Nefiri has run away from LEC, have you noticed?
Yeah.
Still being played in the East. But Nefiri, with these small changes, and of course that hotfix on top of it, has been enough to move LEC junglers away from the pick. But when you have a pool like this, Vedi, maybe it rises up again?
Definitely does seem like in EU, junglers really don't value what Nefiri brings, or at the very least,
risky, right?
They don't trust the alternatives that could compensate for what Nefiri doesn't provide.
Yeah.
I will say, by banning away both the Rel and the Braum, the Leona pick is a very easy one for Heretics. Corki Leona bot lane is a powerful 2 versus 2. I wonder if KOI is thinking about Nico as a possibility, maybe even Renata, if they want a little bit more range at their disposal.
What do you think about Rakan here as well as follow-up?
I think you concede the lane a little bit. It does make your 2v2 a little bit weaker, even though...
I forgot the Sej.
But it is a snap engage. It does give you a lot of backline access. Flank opportunities are fantastic as well. The composition coming out from KOI, I think the Sejuani makes a ton of sense. I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not recognizing it earlier, just because it pairs so nicely with both the Yone and the Rumble. The fact that you can leverage her passive to great effectiveness with 2 champions that often want to be within melee range of their opposition. Great setup, great CC, and provides a very solid front line. Heretics, The reason why I don't love Ambessa plus double AD carry is she's a champion that wants to skirmish with the backline. She wants to get into the thick of things and she wants to brawl. When you have someone like a Zyra, it's hard for Zyra to be able to necessarily follow up on that when she's providing a little bit more peel, a little bit more disengage, poking you from range, creating a lot of zone control. The Leona does have that potential engage and backline threat, but when you're playing this front to back, I feel like Ambessa doesn't always fit into that style of comp unless she has someone like a Vi, like a Xin Zhao, that she can really threaten that backline with.
And make it so much easier, right? Let's see how the Zyra facilitates that or can do exactly that. On the note of Sejuani Yone, by the way, I think it's so obvious. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, of course it's taken away, because I've noticed with all the LPL, with all the LEC, this Yone is usually perma-banned, or we get Sejuani banned. Like, I look over the past couple of days, even in the series today, Yone perma-banned. KC Fnatic, Yone perma-banned. We look towards previous series at the start of the split, like GX Vitality, guess what? That was also Yone perma-banned. All the Sejuani gets taken away, so the fact that KOI have got this duo in many regions across the world, I know our fans will be saying that's a god-tier duo here for KOI. But let's see how they go through. Starting off with their lanes, KOI and Team Heretics, game number 1. Guess what? You can scan that code. No, you don't get a free skin, but you do go to WhatsApp. Go crack it out.
We look across the rift. Get a bit of tense music.
That's the
building suspense.
When are we moving from Demacia? When do we go to the... Isn't Ionia next one or something?
I have no idea.
I want to go to Freljord. It should be around Christmas time, as I've obviously learned in Europe. Christmas is snow. I never experienced snow at Christmas. It
I forget that. Yes, no, you're right.
It's hot. Back home, it's hot. I go swimming.
Yeah.
You guys have big layers on and it's snowing.
You know, my manager said the same thing. She was like, I like only within the last 2 years was her first experience of snow having come from Australia.
Sorry,
and I was like,
your manager said.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Sorry, you're like a big deal. You're a musician or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, you're misconstruing my use of the
manager, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Oh, do you not have one?
No, I work alone.
Oh, okay.
I work alone.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
You're a big deal.
Yeah.
You've
Kind
been
of.
in this business
you know,
for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah, speaking of big deals, by the way, Elyoya came to kick us off. Nicely done. Thank you, observers. Just give us all versions of the pig as opposite side starts. All you need to know is that junglers just going to do their full clear as quick as possible. And Sheo, as you know, will clear first. It's the power of Zyra, isn't it?
So you'll notice in this bot lane that while Supa can provide a lot of trading power in the 2 versus 2, Rakan doesn't offer a huge amount, especially starting with the Q first. Oh, ooh, he just sidestepped there. The fight for level 2 is fast. I do think Supa and Alvaro should be able to grab it first. That they do. But then the quick response coming through from Flakked and Stend. So just concentrating back and forth between the bot laners. Meanwhile, in mid lane, that's where we're going to see big pushing advantages for Kamiloo, who has already been able to push Jojo underneath this tower, very much as we would expect in the matchup.
Yep.
Carlsen also getting an early push on the top side of the map. I think it's a dangerous thing for Rumbles to push super aggressively early because of how easy it can be to actually freeze against the Rumble, just because of his flame spitter always potentially pushing. So overall, I think Heretics off to a good start in terms of the control they have over their lane. Let's see if Sheo is able to utilize that in any way to be able to move into enemy jungle and potentially look for a steal.
Remember as well, Elyoya has a lot of access to these lanes because we have triple melee, Rakan, Yone, Rumble, like the power of the Sejuani. So you can really go anywhere here as Sheo thinks about going to one lane, and that's bot for now.
Is this really going to work?
I mean, Alvaro's stunned up. He might have to W out, then a battle dance. He flashes first. Good dodge. Great dodge from Sheo's roots.
I am surprised that KOI fell prey to that gank. They're actually, look, they're pinging. They're going for the redive in bot lane as well.
Alvaro again, he used all his summoners. They go to Super, he might have cleanse, but his flash will be in vain. First blood already goes over. Stend will die for it. And guess what? So does Flakked. That one was an execute, but the wave is at the turret. Denied.
Elyoya now making his way towards mid. The knockup comes through.
Kamiloo has flash available. He's going to rocket jump first all the way down to his jungler. Sheo can come and help out, and as Elyoya chases this, he won't find much more than a couple of plants. Getting mad. Jojo can't offer any words of advice because he's too low to commit.
Kamiloo able to sidestep that gank, but the bot lane dive from Heretics Overall, still very much worth it. The fact that an execute happened, but also a lot of farm was lost as a result of a stacked wave being sacrificed to the tower, Supa not being able to catch it.
Alvaro does have W available.
Yeah, this isn't going to be much.
It is regard.
But they protect the river ward, which is the crucial exchange there.
No, they don't.
Never mind.
It's gone. They tried to. You're right, that was a crucial exchange. By the way, 350 gold lead for the Corki. Double longsword coming back to lane. That's not bad when you're going up against the Varus lane. And as you said, Vedi, I think the support is making a big difference already.
I think Heretics should be happy with the start that they've been able to find. Reclears coming through from the junglers for the time being, as Jojo feeling a little bit more confident in these trades now that he's got an armament of daggers in his inventory.
You've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or something with that language. Old English.
No, I just really like the word armament.
It is a beautiful word, isn't it? It's like a Latin word, isn't it?
Also, I try to diversify my vocabulary from time to time.
Really?
Yes, because I do find that one of my crutch words is crucial.
It is crucially, yes.
And I've been trying to come up with new words.
It's like
one of my favorite alternatives is this is a big deal.
That's a big word, is it?
Yeah, big deal.
Big deal. Just by saying the word big.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
This is a big deal.
It is indeed, because then his blade's going to connect and Supa. He might have his flash still there, but after the last play, he can't get out. He gets rooted down again. 3 kills divided between Flakked and Sheo.
A repeat gank works out for Heretics as they set their sights on the bot lane. A nice play, easily executed. And as you rightly said, Hysterics, Supa not really being given the opportunity to flash away. I mean, the vision coverage on the bot side of the map does surprise me. The reason why I was questioning why the first play would even work was that Supa was sitting on his ward. He should have good estimation of when the full clear timing is happening, and he didn't actually drop his ward in the river or anywhere.
Yep.
And so it was such an easy gank attempt from Sheo that really set up for the dive. And now Sheo has turned his attention to mid lane.
I mean, because it looks like it's accessible. Jojopyun is going to queue out, but Kamiloo jumps in yet again. The roots ratch him as Jojo gets out. Somewhere between scratch and wretches him. But Jojo, I mean, he gets out with his ulti, but again, Sheo seems like he's everywhere so far.
He certainly does. He's being incredibly proactive on the map. You highlighted him as an engine for the team. And I think this game is a great representation as to what you were talking about. Myrwn trying to be disruptive towards the grubs, but I don't think much is going to happen in terms of a contest as the cross map from Elyoya is coming through onto the drag.
Well, Carlsen into that lane opponent. Going to feel a lot better than the Rumble, I guess, as he just gets up his combo. As MKOI going to take Dragon. This is the cost of the grubs. 3 grubs against a comp that has Yone, but a comp that has Tristana. Always feels nice as Cloud Drake's going to start off the game. But, you know, we had a lot of question marks as Myrwn, he's going to ulti. Dog walks right. If Flakked is the dog, does that mean Stend is the owner?
What?
Well, Flakked's the dog, you know, he's the dog Corki. And Stend on Leona is the one who's walking the dog.
I don't think we should be calling our players dogs.
Bro, he's got the skin. Hey, he's got the skin. Hey, no.
Could be a little bit more professional with the language, please.
Yeah, don't gaslight me. Gaslight me.
Oh, you mean the skin? Oh, you mean the Corgi skin?
No kidding, we're throwing it before.
That's what you meant.
You're a piece of work, Vedius. Did you
used the words? I just extrapolated the meaning.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but you know what? Last cast, Dagda said day and night, and we talked about day and night, and you're Andrew Vedius day, and Knight is a player in the LPL.
Yeah.
And you were the contrast, and you were the low portion of the contrast for the Akali.
I see.
Yeah.
I mean, even being put on a scale alongside Knight is truly honourable.
Yeah,
so thank you for that. I appreciate that.
But that was like...
The fact that I'm even in a conversation when it was the difference of like a hand
towel to dry your thing and a bath sheet that people wrap themselves in after
you didn't even make the scale, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm on that.
Okay. That's good for you. I'm glad you take it that way because...
what can I say? I'm a positive Andy.
You are a positive Andy. Good one.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, of course, both teams don't really have an objective to play for right now, so it's very much focused on the laning phase. There's possibilities to set your sights on a potential tower dive or plates, but given the wave states, it's a little bit awkward, and you'll notice Kamiloo very hesitant to approach because Jojo now feeling a lot more confident in these short burst trades. In fact, Jojo has been able to build, what, like a 23 CS advantage in the 1v1. Ow. Not normally what you see in this matchup, but Jojo definitely getting the better of his lane opposition. Remember, last split, Kamiloo did get a solo kill onto Jojo. So at the very least, Jojo getting a bit of revenge in terms of the 1v1 matchup.
As we look towards bot again, let's just pause because Sheo is making it all about this lane. Once again, hovering around as Flakked tried to bait them in. Have a Supa and Alvaro. He wanted to draw the ulti. Sheo now spotted out as we come back towards mid. That is a big question, isn't it? Because Kamiloo's also had jungle attention from Sheo. Granted, Elyoya the same, but still. I feel like at 6 normally, Vedi, the threat's there, but he used his ulti to get away.
Yeah. I mean, things aren't looking great for Kamiloo. And I mean, so the thing about this matchup is in the short trades, Yone can have an advantage just because he gets the shield from his W.
Yeah.
Which is why it's in those windows after the trades happen that you need to keep up with the aggression, which is where I actually feel Kamiloo is just playing very defensively. A part of it could be that there's not a lot of vision coverage around the mid wave.
Oh, fade sealed out again.
But he does have the support from his team. Both Stend and Kamiloo both Stend and Flakked making their way towards mid lane, looking to put some pressure down onto Jojo. Looking for a bit of a fight.
Can't do too much, but he's probably surprised at Corki damage. Jojo almost dies, dodges the ulti. Supa's now here with flash and ulti available, but he's not going to pull the trigger. Not even going to get a summon and trade as Myrwn gets ulti top, by the way. Carlsen just sends out the public execution. Now with the ulti down, has to clear the wave because Team Heretics is going to turn it into a dive. The solar flare's down, the flash away from Myrwn. Under turret won't save him either. The Stranglethorn's unleashed. Team Heretics with another as Flakked now meanwhile running away from mid.
The electrocute proc proving its value as Sheo is able to secure another kill onto the top side of the map, and Heretics riding this momentum forward, but it's not really translating into a significant advantage. You look at the bottom of your screen, you can see gold lead still in favor of Myrwn, gold lead still for Jojo, and the 2 AD carries. I mean, while there is an advantage for Flakked, so far, without that completed item, it's not really translating into a significant lead, and it's actually KOI that's getting the respawn of the grub, so the goal is still within touching distance. And this Yone is becoming a problem in a side lane.
The only happy kind of little accidents, I mean, Team Heretics forced out his ulti twice, so he hasn't really been that involved outside the lane, but it is just Jojo, and this is weird to say with the criticism that he got in Winter. But Jojo right now is carrying that gold, I guess, gold lead. Because jungle is 1,100 gold ahead. Sheo is so far ahead of Zyra, it's crazy. As you said, you already mentioned bot. We're going to get a bit of a pick here, and Jojo might be in trouble. If they can find him, deny some CS, that would be the start of more good news for Team Heretics. I don't think I've praised Jojo this much yet. Like, I mean, it's fair. It is true. Bro, he's had better laning, but when have we gone out of our way to be like, Jojo's insane?
Well, again, like, I think his first 2 weeks, his opposition was definitely not easy going up against both Vladdy and Caps, but I think that he did demonstrate much better laning compared to what we've seen. Right now, it's Heretics starting off the Dragon. Alvaro face checks.
Yeah, he does face check, but it's a Rakan. He absorbs the solar flare. Why you solar flare a Rakan, I'll never know. So Alvaro just took a free ulti.
Bit of a whiff there from Stend. Not predicting the dash back from Alvaro. As Carlsen will get himself another plate in the top lane as Myrwn actually roamed from top towards mid to try and assist the team. Dragon's still a point of contention, but not one that's going to be fought over just yet. Pings will come through from the side of Heretics as they set their sights on this objective. Reset has just come through from Alvaro, so it will be a numbers advantage in favor of Heretics. And it looks like KOI, I don't think they're in a great position to contest, so it looks like they're just going to give this one away.
Dragon for a dragon, grubs for grubs. Yeah, really not bad. Our Team Heretics fans can rejoice a little bit here in this game. And you know what's crazy to me is, like, we came into this and we once again set up that KOI are going to be our 4th best team, right? Because as we've talked about over and over, their schedule was really rough to start. They took KC and G2 to 3 games. But now it's like, okay, to prove you're the 4th best team in the league and you're not like in this outskirt, this middle of the pack, you need to really put up a good result against Team Heretics here today. Vedius as well. Vitality, another team that are a little bit unquestionable. We need to see a good game here from Heretics at least to kick it off. Now, as I say that,
I mean, you're completely right.
Please.
It was nice hearing from Supa how he actually likes being able to play against the good teams, and I think the advantage of playing against them earlier is that they do expose your weaknesses even earlier, so you can then try to address those issues as you progress throughout the spring split. It is a longer split compared to what we've had over the last few years. It's a 7-week regular season.
It's good.
Single round robin best of threes as we lead into our top 6 playoffs.
Best of ones are dead.
KOI, after losing to both KC and G2, they won't have an opportunity to rematch them until that playoffs. That doesn't mean that top of the table it will be denied. It just means it's a little bit less in their control. They need results to go their way in order to really fight for those top spots. But as you rightly said, right now they're looking at that 3rd, 4th position, and that eventual fight against Fnatic will be very interesting for sure. Right now, Carlsen the target.
Okay. I guess he thought maybe Carlsen will flash down and get hit by that, but no, good dodges in the end. Ulti for nothing as Supa just gets chunked out mid, and yeah, we are chilling a little bit. The game feels a little bit slow, but Herald comes up in a minute 20, and first items are really being ramped up on the board. Solar Flare again on Alvaro. I think Stend needs to realize it's really hard to alter Rakan. He presses W or E if someone's nearby, like Rakan is not a good target.
It's a more challenging target, I definitely agree. Perhaps it's about sending a message, throwing up the threat.
Get some sun, he says.
Yes.
Vitamin D. You are deficient.
Quite right.
I mean, here in Berlin, I recommend, if you're here in the audience, take a supplement. Pretty good for you. I take one every day.
You know, I mean, on average, I would say it's quite grey in Berlin. But then there's a period of months where it's just blindingly sun.
Yeah,
it's just so warm.
But your period here of blinding sun is like 2 to 3 months, no?
You say that, but I feel like it'll start randomly in May and then it'll last until October.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just, I'm privileged because back home, our sun lasts for like 10 months.
Yeah, and that's why I don't love Australia.
The natural being that is a massive circle in the sky, you don't like that.
They fixed that, didn't they?
What, in the patch? Fix what?
I thought, yeah, Australia was problematic because I had that hole in the ozone, right?
I think we all do, don't we?
No, never mind. I give up.
Yeah, you should. I thought you didn't like the sun as Alvaro is looking to bring it with him. Stend is going to get chained up. There's not enough damage, though. That is a lethality Varus who cleanses away from the Solar Flare, this time used on an immobile target. It's just about pushing mid and maybe sending another message because Herald is now spawned. It looks like the fight is only just brewing.
Cleanse was burnt from Supa, ulti as well. Outside of Stend's ulti, not really was much committed on the side of Heretics, but Jojo continuing to be a problem in the side lane. Blade of the Ruin King is such a valuable spike for the champion. And you can see the nerfs not really doing that much to stop his overall power level in the side lane.
Oh, he had nerfs? Okay. But Yone is still like a first pick bannable. As it has been, again, I was talking about it at the start of the series. If you didn't listen, I ask you to put your ear a little bit closer now. Because first items are built up. That is rare that you see a Sejuani not go Heartsteel first, but that is the case in this game with Randuin's Omen. Definitely scared of the crits that are going to come out, especially from Kamiloo.
It makes sense. Because right now the fight over control over the top river begins. You can see Jojo already starting to move, gets the push in the bot wave. I think he's going to be too late though. KOI, they're a little slow on the setup, but here we are, Myrwn's arrived.
Maybe the chase is going to be okay. Finding Sheo is only the tick in the box as well. He has the flash away and it's stolen. Burned down by a rumble as Myrwn just auto-attacking for free. Elyoya takes the damage and ends up dying for it as this trade already begins. And Jojo might not find the ulti, but he's going to find Flakked flying through for a shutdown. Chain Disruption or an afterthought, but a good one. The arrow even piercing through, and KOI, it takes one fight to silence the deal from Heretics.
I mean, KOI get absolutely everything. They only lose their jungler and they get a clean ace off the back of it. They'll even secure the Herald. You spotted it out, Hysterics. The Rumble ultimate actually getting the secure in the midst of all this, and the target is Sheo. The jungler of Heretics is shut down immediately. Flakked trying to Valkyrie away to safety, can only Valkyrie towards the burn. Jojo coming in with the cleanup on the flank as Flakked tries to flash away. He cannot escape. And then when Alvaro rejoins the fight, the ulti comes off cooldown from Supa during the end of that fight, and we're able to set up. It's an easy cleanup from KOI. 6-5 now the kill score, but look at the difference in gold. even though Heretics had all those early kills, they weren't really converting it into significant gold leads, whereas when KOI get that big advantage, 3K now the lead that they sit on.
Gotta love Myrwn, based off that steal as well. The energy's good. KOI back in this game in a big way. 3K gold lead all of a sudden, and again, quick reminder to you all that that dragon is now just going to be taken by them as well. Off the back of that fight, we've almost got a second item for Jojo. I mean, Jojo's CS lead has now mounted into a kill and has now moved to 50. This mid-laning phase presented a really big issue, an earlier Blade of the Ruined King. And again, it's strange to say, but like, while Jojo's not the only one, it does feel like this Yone, Vedi, is going to be mega hard to match.
I completely agree with you. I don't think the Ambessa is going to be enough to stop it. And because Jojo largely went unpunished during the laning phase and has continued to accrue leads,
look at
he's
him
looking monstrous right now. Yep, he will kill Kamiloo if given the freedom to do so. Heretics is forced to provide safety, that bodyguard protection, as Jojo returns to his side lane farm. A 2-level advantage over his lane counterpart as they set their sights on this final outer tower. And KOI just in full control of the rift right now.
Rakan spawning bot side, going to be Ruinous, Ravenous, Ruinous, whatever. The black and red one, not the orange one. They were talking about it before. Yeah, I didn't realize that. They just all terms for hungry, are they? That's what Draco said. Ruinous, voracious, are they just terms of being hungry? You know your words?
Ruinous isn't really tied to hunger.
Isn't it? It means you're going to ruin things, correct?
I mean...
like, I could ruin a plate of nachos.
It's
you know
one of those words where
good buffer.
I know what it means, but asking me to define it is hard.
Right, okay.
But voracious, I'm pretty sure, is tied to hunger.
Like, I'm feeling voracious.
I'm pretty sure it's tied to, like, I'm hungry for blood, like a hunger for more violence.
See, here's the thing, is I got a computer, I could Google these words, but I choose not to.
No, you just choose to
then the conversation ends there.
No,
that's right, now we just guess.
Yeah,
and you have a chance to look like a genius, or I take you to the deep end.
I mean...
which I often do.
Or I mean, I guess we'll just never have a resolution. We'll just never know.
Let's not answer.
And now you just love living in ignorance, I guess.
It is bliss, I can tell you.
Not wrong.
Almost 30 years of it, and it just keeps getting better.
I'm glad.
The less you know, the more is power.
I mean, that's definitely a perspective, yeah.
It's the perspective, if you're like me. Now, everyone who takes my advice, just remember, Team Heretics might have to go with that because they're thinking, okay, KOI right now could be surrounding us. Jojo, the only one in the side lane with TP. But KOI are grouping up just to see what happens.
The problem is Heretics have nothing to really play for right now. Yeah. They're just fishing for picks, with which as long as KOI don't give them any. Look at top lane. Jojo is just like, I'm free farming, I'm level 15. I have 2 fully completed items and none of you can 1v1 me. I'm also going to take your jungle camps. KOI can also just keep pushing in mid lane. And Heretics is just kind of awkwardly standing here in the river, not really doing anything.
You're going to have to go for mid. Flakked has to move that. Bot's probably an issue as well. Jojo now all-inning on Carlsen, and
I think they're going to die.
Yeah, and they're getting burnt. Myrwn's just taking Kamiloo. Tristana going to go for a different kind of hop, and that equalizer, oh, it's so nice, isn't it? Sheo can only play defensive, but to do nothing and stand there and just take it. KOI with another double. Myrwn on the voice comms on that one because he is Gatling gun down Team Heretics now.
I mean, KOI made that look so easily, and rightly so, because Heretics just sat there not doing anything. They tried to fish for a pick. KOI focused on pushing the waves out. Once they did, as Heretics is returning to try and get those waves, KOI immediately force an engage. They extend the gold leads. They set their sights on the Rakan. And again, we go back to this. Just look at the map state right now. Kamiloo's trying to go back towards the bot lane. Myrwn is already in full control of that brush. They're immediately looking to retreat. Their AD carry is sitting in mid because he's catching that wave. And it's this idea of getting caught in the rotation. Myrwn with a beautiful flash into E. Connects onto the Tristana. And then he converts that into another kill as well. 1.6k the individual gold lead for him. Jojo, meanwhile, sitting at 252 CS. Getting close to the flame horizon in the mid lane matchup.
And again, even though Team Heretics started so nicely, is Solar Flare going to be flushed away from Elyoya? Stend looking for the center plate. He won't find it. It's all gone horribly wrong. And watch this, Jojo with a massive angle. We want to see that ulti because Team Heretics are lining up with the equalizer as well. On top, they sit at 5, and now with the flames through comes the blade. Carlsen running for his life, his dear life. How long it lasts is up to him as he flashes to make sure it extends a bit. But Team Heretics now down 6,000 gold, and it is looking so close to over at this point.
I mean, we wanted to see a strong performance from KOI, and this has been nothing but a strong performance.
Past that fight, nothing but strong.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that a lot of attention was put towards the bot side of the map from Sheo. They constantly tried to gank Supa and Alvaro, and while Sheo was getting ahead, it converted into a few objectives, but it really wasn't translating into a strong gold lead, because you look at the gold at your bottom of your screen now, okay, Elyoya is still behind in gold, but the rest of the map is fully in KOI's control.
You know, you talked a little bit about the setup for Ambessa as well. Like, while there hasn't really been a strict 5v5 that Carlsen's been able to play towards, you know, it's not like the Vi. It's not like playing the pick of Vi Ahri, Xin Zhao Ahri, or Xin Zhao Talia. Those combinations make the Ambessa look so much better. Vedi here in this game, despite getting through the laning phase, Myrwn has been the teamfight king of this game.
I mean, the reality is that even if Heretics wanted to play this front-to-back style, a bit of poke, they haven't really had an opportunity to, because I feel like once that Herald fight happened, the game was over.
Yeah.
It was so one-sided. KOI got so much off the back of it. And the fact that Jojo, I mean, look, he is a full 3 levels over Kamiloo. Like, this Yone is unkillable, I feel. You cannot deal with him in a side lane, so KOI have a very clear win condition, and given the gold advantage they have, I think the best play for them now is just force the Baron, force a fight, and look to end the game.
Well, you didn't have good lane stats for Jojo before. I think this game will help a bit.
I think it will.
The average out, because he was 30 CS up at 15 or 14.
He is getting close to that Flame Horizon.
He is. And again, Kamiloo's really struggled in this game.
It's, I should probably let fans know, because there's probably a lot of new viewers as well. The Flame Horizon, shout out to the old player, Flame. Do you remember what team it was at CJNT's Blaze?
I think it was.
But he was a top laner, and there was a period in time where he, I forget which top, even I don't remember the history of the, but basically a player named Flame had a 100 CS advantage over his counterpart, and that was what dubbed the Flame Horizons, when you have 100 CS over your lane counterpart.
It's funny that a lot of, you know, we have this conversation all the time because of how wide in age our league audience is.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm pretty sure he's a cast now in the LCK.
Really?
I think he is. He was with T1 as a streamer. He's now with Riot Games as an analyst.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah, Korean broadcast. And I can tell you, Vedi, in a second, he was on LGD for a bit. That didn't go so good.
Of course you would remember that.
Zubu Blaze, I remember. That's way old. That's like 2013 champions, isn't it?
Yeah.
CJ enters Blaze. Nice. And then LGD, and then he went on Immortals for a bit, FlyQuest, and then ended on Damwon. 2019.
Okay, we didn't need all of Flame's history.
No, I think we did. I think we did. Let's be real.
Okay. Well, I think KOI is looking to set up for the Baron. We talked about how it is the next logical step. They could wait for the Dragon if they really wanted to play it, I guess, safe, but they're so strong right now. I think they should play with nothing but confidence, and they should try and force and engage, utilize that Baron to get that fight, and then look to end the game. And they're going to start this one off.
Well, Myrwn's bot, he's got TP. He can join anytime he wants. He got the bot wave pushing as well, so Carlsen will be a little bit delayed. Ward spot's out at 7k, and Team Heretics gonna get hit over the wall. Before I can say anything more, in Stend, Solar Flare down on Jojo. He does die, doesn't get to use a thing. Reset for Kamiloo, chasing Alvaro. But that stops the Baron, and all that praise for KOI and Jojo. He has everything up, and he just got caught.
That right there is a demonstration of the nerfs. This time he didn't get to use the E to break away from the CC. He was rooted, which meant that Heretics was able to lock him down and get that shutdown. It is a valuable pick for sure. The problem is I don't think it's quite going to be enough to suddenly turn this game around. It will, at the very least, buy Heretics a little bit more time. KOI, though, they have been known to make these errors in the mid-game.
Have they?
And I would very much like to see them not make those errors.
Great analysis, Vedius. I agree. Would like to see KOI clean it out, but I mean, that gold injection was about 1,000. You know,
yes.
Jojo, again, we talked about the Flame Horizon. That dude had a bounty on his head, and what I can tell. And with all that gold going over, once again, we talk about how Team Heretics look to show up in this game. Sheo is two and a bit items for Zhonya's, 2 and a bit for Tristana. Engaged from Stend here, though, and once again, goes a little bit deep. He's going to be permafrosted, but no follow-up kill. KOI back as Jojo is now back as well. Looks for the knock-up, gets shielded. Gets a little bit as there's the ulti. Myrwn in trouble, goes golden, not facing anything. Chain corruption work as well. Maybe an opportunity for Team Heretics, but Carlsen separated. Has to flash away, while meanwhile Kamiloo is just hit by Jojo. That was the banana Yone, but he still gets Kamiloo in the end.
Jojo misses a bunch of skills, but he still gets the kill. That's a Yone classic if I've ever seen one. I guess finishing the Infinity Edge does help you do that, but this should be an open soul now for KOI to lock in. Kamiloo getting caught out. Flakked was the target in that fight, with Myrwn starting it off with a really good Zhonya's to buy time for his team to regroup and re-engage. Flakked able to survive was honestly very surprising. Loses all of his summoners as a result, though. Dragon not actually being started off. I feel they could just send Jojo to go solo the Dragon, secure the soul for them while they get position around the Baron to make sure the Heretics don't sneak that one away.
Sheo probably knows that there's no way near, and he'll take it so damn quick, so yeah. Soul just goes to KOI. Can't believe he hit a couple of autos and Qs. And with that snap, it just makes it so that KOI are kind of back in the driver's seat in this game. Soul down. Let's see if we go further, because the games today...
Hey, the Flame Horizon.
I mean, look,
he pulled it off.
Yeah. Now we can talk about Hysterics.
Please don't.
We go back.
There are moments in history that we don't need to remember.
Who is better, Hysterics or Kasing? You can vote now.
I'm not going there.
Okay, that's all right. I'll take you somewhere else. Stend is caught out. He's trying to go back home, but there's no support for him whatsoever. It's an easy pick. This time the ult hitting is onto Jojo. Flakked's trying to get a return kill, but he flashes back towards his team, and Jojo stays safe. 5 members of KOI alive, and Flakked just has to sit there and watch.
This should be an uncontested Baron now. 5 members still alive. The jungler gone for Heretics. Means that this Baron should be easy pickings. Flakked and Kamiloo are in the area, but I don't really see what they can offer here.
Jojo just healed up a bunch of health. Ult to use, Kamiloo knocked up, an attempt made and no escape. There you go, Baron picked up. And Carlsen on the run, but thanks to Supa popping the Yobu's Ghost Blade, there's going to be some chase here. Out of energies, Carlsen, he ults back in, but he too will join the names. Flakked burnt down for his fame, and Jojo with yet another one. KOI, this is still their game.
A one-sided affair, a bit of a blip when Jojo ended up losing his life around that first Baron attempt, but now this should be an easy win for KOI. They have the Nexus within their sights, and with the Baron empowered minions, they're making the way towards those towers.
Yeah, not a bad game from KOI. I mean, those moments in the early game will still be looked at, how all lanes but Jojo. We're in a good spot for Heretics, but one slick fight, one slick move, and KOI walk away with a 32-minute win here in game 1 in their best of 3. More kills, please. You win 6-1 and 5-9-10.
Dominant performance from KOI as they start this series off strong. I like their draft. I like what they came in with, their priorities in the picks. And they played their individual lanes very well. Impressive stuff from KOI, and kind of what we expected after what was a tough week 1 from them.
I will say, though, I mean, again, Heretics early game, if it all just moved into the mid game, it'd be a very different situation, but we'll go to a break and see what returns here for the rest of the series.